Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Rama Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare Hare Rama
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Rama Hare Rama. Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य जय श्री कृष्ण जय कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama
Hare Rama Rama Rama
Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare
Hare Krishna
Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare
Rama Rama Rama
Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Hare हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे
Jesus Christ, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Sri Vasudha Goswami, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita
राम
Gadadara,
हरे राम
Jesus
राम
Christ, Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadara, Sri Vasudha
हरे राम
Goswami,
राम हरे
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौरभक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
हरे
Hare,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna, Hare
राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Krishna,
हरे राम राम
Hare
हरे हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Hare
राम
Rama,
राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे
Hare
हरे राम राम हरे हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Rama,
कृष्ण
Rama Rama,
हरे हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे हरे
Hare Krishna, Hare
हरे
Krishna,
राम
Hare
राम
Rama,
हरे हरे
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे हरे हरे
Hare
राम
Hare Hare
राम
Krishna,
हरे
Hare Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण
Rama,
हरे 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 राम राम
Hare
राम हरे
Krishna, Hare
हरे
Rama,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
राम
Hare
राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna, Hare
हरे
Rama,
हरे
Hare
राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Krishna,
कृष्ण
Hare
हरे
Rama,
हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण
राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास गौरव गोविंद हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे
Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Krishna, Prabhuji Sanmata, Sandavad Pranam, Sal, Glory Shishila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. Thank you for joining. Let us begin with Mangalacharana prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmuritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Yutapadakkamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paditana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karati Vachalam Pangam Langaya Girim Kripa Tamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram Uma Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yasmaret Pandari Kaksham Sabhya Bhyantram Suchi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. Thank you very much again. So since last week also we were doing reviews of Subhadini books of previously done readings. So today also we'll continue from 8th chapter. Today it's a very important discussion that difference between material world and spiritual world. In the 8th chapter, Krishna explains. So let us read that. Let me share here. Right. Material world versus spiritual world. Madhais, please begin. Hare Krishna. Start Mataya. Deepa Mataya.
17 to 22, material world versus spiritual world. Brahma's one day, called one kalpa, is 1000 yuga cycles by human calculation. Same is the duration of his night. In such a calculation, Brahma lives for 100 years. One yuga cycle, Divya Yuga or Chatur Yuga, is a combination of the 4 ages of Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali. 1 year of humans is a day and night of the demigods. 12,000 such demigod years Make one Chaturyuga, 360 human years into 12,000. 43, 20,000 years. Human years. 1,000 such Chaturyugas make one day of Brahma, whose lifespan is 100 years according to that calculation. After that, even Brahma's planet, along with Brahma and other residents, is destroyed. Manifest and unmanifest states of material world. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest, Vyakta. And when the night falls, they become unmanifest, Avyakta, again. In this way, the jivas appear and disappear again and again, Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate, as the days and nights of Brahma arrive. Superior to the unmanifest state of Brahma's night, in this material world, there is another unmanifest nature, which is the eternal spiritual world.
Yeah. Let us give it to other mother. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
So Prabhupada frequently quotes this coming and going, coming and going. Bhutva Bhutva Praliyate. Manifest and manifest, manifest and unmanifest, like that. Yes. Samyukta Mataji, please read 2021.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. 22:21. Eternal spiritual world, the abode of Krishna. Eternal spiritual world. There is another unmanifest nature which is eternal, Sanatana, supreme, indestructible, and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. When all in this material world is annihilated, it remains as it is. Avyakto kshara iti uktas tam ahu paramam gatim. That which is described as unmanifest and infallible, indestructible, or eternal, and the supreme destination. Yam prapyana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. That place from which, having attained it, one never returns. That is my supreme abode. Having described about his supreme abode, Krishna will now describe the process of attaining that abode. Krishna's abode is at. Okay, Prabhuji.
Thank you, thank you. So this is a linking point. Whenever we see this one, it's a linking point, is a note points. So basically, this also there. This statement comes twice in 2 verses also, other verses also. In 15th chapter. Yad gatva nivartante tadhama paramam mama. So when the soul going back to Godhead, there is no question of coming back. So it attains that nature, so spiritual nature, and associate with the Supreme Lord and his devotees eternally and serving eternally. Yeah. Sandhya Mata, please read this section 22.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. And Pranam, 22nd. Krishna's abode is attainable by Ananya Bhakti, pure Bhakti. Purushaha sa parapartha bhakta labhyastva ananya yashantastani bhutani ena sarvam idam tatam. Purusha sa parapartha, O Partha, the supreme person who is greater than all. Bhakta labhyastva ananyaya is attainable by unalloyed and undeviating devotion. Yashantasthani bhutani, everything is situated within him. Ena sarvam idam tatam, he is all pervading, although he is present in his abode.
Nice. So this is another important verse actually. Second line, see, Bhaktya labhyastva ananyaya is attainable by unalloyed and undeviated devotion. That is our dharma actually. In Bhagavatam says, right, Savai Pumsha Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adokshaja Ahaituki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. Yayatma is unmotivated and uninterrupted devotional service which pleases to Lord. So that we can the soul is attainable to spiritual world. We got the eligibility when we do that kind of service. I here also mentioned unalloyed, undeviating. Yeah, without any distractions. So that means Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is my eternal master. I am his eternal servant. So Bhakti, Bhakta, and Bhagavan. Transaction is Bhakti. Unalloyed devotional service, undeviating devotional service. Yeah. Raju Prabhu, please read. 23-28.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Super mercy of pure bhakti in attaining Krishna. Different times of death. I shall now explain the different times at which passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not return to this world. Two ways of leaving the body: candidate and destination. Path of light. At an auspicious moment in light and fire by the influence of sun god or fire god. During the day in the Shukla Paksha, 4 night of waxing moon in Uttarayana, 6 months when sun travels to north. For Gnanis and Yogis, candidate. Destination Brahma Jyoti, liberation, path of no return. Path of darkness. In darkness, night, during smoke in Krishna Paksha, 4 night of waning moon in Dakshinayana, 6 months when sun travels to south. Candidates for karmis, a destination, heaven, a rebirth, path of return. There are presiding deities of light, fire, day, waxing, for night and Uttarayana, who make arrangements for departure of the soul. At the time of death, the mind carries one to a new life. People in general must leave the body at sustainable time to be assured. Suitable time. Body at suitable time to be assured with whether or not to return to this material world. But for the pure devotees in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning to this world. Whether they leave their bodies at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or arrangement. Being fully surrendered souls, they leave everything in Krishna's hands and easily go to the spiritual world.
Completely. 27.
Okay. Path of devotees. Although the devotees know these two paths, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. O Arjuna, Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukto Bhavarjuna.
Let me read this, Prabhu. 28:1. Okay. The supreme position of Bhakti Yogi. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva dhaneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam. Atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva. By studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, and dhaneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam, giving charity, whatever pious results may be obtained. Atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva. One can surpass all of them by knowing me and my glories. From chapters 7 and 8. Yogi param sthanam upayati chadyam. And performing devotional service, such a devotee attains the supreme eternal abode. So surpassing all this by studying Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, whatever pious results may be obtained during these activities, can easily surpass when they do, what is that? When they do? It can be Krishna himself saying, Atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva. One can surpass all of them. All of them means these all. By knowing me and my glories. That means by practicing. And I see a next line also. Yogi param sthanam upaiti chadya, and performing devotional service. Such a devotee attains the supreme eternal abode. So Bhakti Yogi, what he is going to do? Bhakti Yogi is always performing devotional service. Satatam kirtayantam. That's where Prabhupada himself writes in his purport. Keeping Krishna in the center and work, whatever prescribed duties you have, and devotional activities. Lifestyle, actually. It's a lifestyle, devotee lifestyle. Right? Yesterday, one of the amazing session I had Dwarakadish Prabhu and Vishaka Mataji. So how family life has to lead in devotional life. Right? So beautifully explained, actually. Both the wife and husband practice nicely by understanding each other's strengths, weaknesses. How do we lead spiritual life in Grihastha life? Communication, the topic itself is the communication, right? What is that? title. Tongue is mightier than strong. Tongue is what is that title? Tongue is mightier than strong.
Sword, Prabhu.
Sword. అంటే నాలుకతోనే చంపేస్తామా? So wonderful session actually. We have to repeatedly hear this. That's why I took all the screenshots, whether they share it or not. That's why I wanted to take. I took it and share it in the group. So please go through it, this session after uploading.
Sure, Prabhu.
Still live also there. You can see live in Prabhu's YouTube channel. Leelandas. That's there. So ultimately, this chapter talks about, last verse talks about the supreme position of a bhakti yogi. Surpass all the things when we perform devotional service. That's it. It is.
Can you go up, Prabhuji, a little bit? That so, regarding that Bhishma left the body during Uttarayana time, right, Prabhuji? So can you go up, Prabhuji, a little bit? So this is a path of liberation for his destination is Brahmajyoti, yeah, Prabhuji? Sorry.
No, he's a great Mahajana, Prabhu.
Yeah, great Mahajana, right, Prabhuji?
Great Mahajan. Yes, he's not Gyani Karmi. Actually he's a devotee. He's waiting for that auspicious moment to see Krishna in his body.
A devotee as well as he's waiting for time also, Prabhuji. That is like you need to think in that way.
He's the what Prabhu? He's the actually see, so he can leave the body at his own will. That
Yes.
is, he has a benediction.
Yeah.
After seeing beautiful form of Krishna, after at the last minute, he wanted to see that beautiful form, and that is the Vishnu Sahasranama also there, right? By after hearing, he left that body. That means his destination is spiritual world only, Prabhu.
Okay.
And is great Mahajana. Bhishma is one of the great Mahajana.
Yes,
Mahajana ye gata sapanta. Sapanta means we have to follow the footsteps of the great Mahajanas. So they are devotees. Devotional. This is for karmis, jnanis, Prabhu. That is the understanding.
Okay.
Devotees doesn't matter. All this waxing moon, waning moon, Sukla Paksha, Krishna Paksha, Uttarayana, Dakshinayana. Doesn't matter. Here only he writes, right? What is that? But see here, but for the pure devotees in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning to this world, whether they leave their bodies at an auspicious or inauspicious moment, by accident or arrangement. Being fully surrendered souls, they leave everything in Krishna's hands and easily go to the spiritual world. That we have to understand. Okay. Okay. So now what is this? This is the 8th chapter, no? So 7th, what we have next one?
Next we have Bhagavatam 8th chapter, Prabhuji. First canto 8th chapter.
Acha, first canto 8th chapter. And see, that's it, right? With Bhagavatam.
Yeah, we need to start again Chaitanya Charitamrita 8th chapter. Like
8th chapter we have to read. We have to read chapter. Okay. So let us go through Bhagavatam also and spend some time. Let me share 1 second. A 1.1, 1.8, SB 1.8. Okay. Yeah. So 1.8. Mata, Mali start Jane. Let us read for some time.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prayers by Queen Kunti and Maharaja Parikshit saved. 1 to 4 is Krishna pacifies the Pandavas. The Pandavas offer water and bath in Ganges. Everyone is aggrieved, but Krishna and the sages pacify. Then Lord Krishna saves Maharaja Parikshit in the womb. Krishna establishes Yudhishthira's glories. Uttara cries out for help. from Lord Krishna, who is departing for Dwarka. Lord Krishna counteracts the Brahmastra, the Lord's inconceivable power of protection. The Lord's interaction with aggrieved Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira implores departing Krishna. Yudhishthira couldn't be convinced by anyone. Maharaja Yudhishthira's lamentation.
These are the sections. Okay. Read one section, Mataji. 1 or 2 sections.
1 to 4, pacification of the Pandavas. Lamentation. The Pandavas, along with Draupadi, went to the Ganges. They offered water to the departed souls, lamented for them, and then bathed in the holy Ganges. Pacification. The Pandavas, Draupadi, Kunti, and Kandhari were overwhelmed with grief. Lord Krishna and the sages pacified them by citing the stringent laws of time, Kalasya Gatim, acting upon all living entities that cannot be counteracted. Na pratikriyam. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mother, thank you. Samyukta Mataji, please read section 5 to 78.
5 to 17. Lord Krishna saves Maharaja Parikshit in the womb. Krishna establishes Yudhishthira's glory. Kingdom. By Lord Krishna's grace, Maharaja Yudhishthira, Ajatashatru, recovered his kingdom after killing the cunning Duryodhana and his associates, whose lives were diminished because of the rough handling of Draupadi's hair. Sacrifices. Lord Krishna then had Yudhishthira perform 3 horse sacrifices, Ashwamedha, and thus caused his fame to spread like Indra's. Uttara cries out for help. Departure. Lord Sri Krishna then prepared for his departure to Dwaraka. After exchanging greetings with the Brahmanas and Pandavas, he sat on the chariot. Uttara then came running towards him in fear and addressed him.
Yes, Mother, thank you. Sandhya Mataji, please read 9 to this part. 9, 10.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. The only protector. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin, Deva Deva Jagatpate. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin, O greatest of all mystics, please protect, please protect. Deva Deva Jagatpate, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe. Nanyam tad abhayam pashe yatra mrityu parasparam. Nanyam tad abhayam pasye, in this world of duality, no one except you can. Yatra mrityu parasparam, protect me from the clutches of death. Krishna might have said, are you praying for your life? 10. Protect my son. A fiery iron arrow is coming towards me fast. Let it burn me personally, but not kill my embryo.
Yes, Mother,
Sorry,
thank you.
Prabhuji, I did through my mobile.
అదే నాకు ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైంది Mataji. Sorry, మీరు కంప్యూటర్ ల్యాప్టాప్ లో కనెక్ట్ చేయండి ఒకవేళ.
యాక్చువల్లీ చార్ట్ క్లియర్ అయింది ప్రభుజీ, డాక్యుమెంట్ లేదు, అందుకే నేను ఫోన్ లో.
అచ్చా అచ్చా అచ్చా, షూర్ షూర్. చేంజ్ చేసుకుని ప్రభుజీని మెల్ల పాసిఫై చేయండి.
షూర్ ప్రభుజీ.
రాజ్ ప్రభు, ప్లీజ్ రీడ్ 11 to 14.
Lord Krishna counterattacks the Brahmastras. Krishna understood that Ashwadhama had released one or many Brahmastras. Seeing the glaring Brahmastra coming towards them, the Pandavas took up their weapons. Ashwadhama released multiple Brahmastras to kill the Pandavas and their only grandson inside Uttara's womb. Krishna then took up Sudarshana disc to protect Pandavas, his unallied devotees, despite having vowed not to use weapons. Lord Krishna, who is Yogeshwara and Paramatma, then covered Uttara's embryo by his personal energy, Swa Maya. Krishna counterattack the Brahmastra is described in detail in 1.12.7 to 11. The Lord inconceivable powers of protection, neutralization, the irresistible amogam and uncounterattackable apartikriyam. Apratikriyam Brahmastra was neutralized and filed by the strength of Vishnu, Lord Krishna. यदप्ति अस्त्रम ब्रह्म शिरास त्वा अमोघम चप्रतिक्रियम वैष्णवाम तेज आसद्य समस्याद भृगुद्वः. Wonderful. Don't consider this surprising. Mamstahai itat acharyam. For Lord Krishna, who is infallible, unborn, and full of wonderful powers. Sarvaschaham.
Sarvascharya maye achyute.
Sarvachayam maye achyute. By his maya, he creates, maintains, and enriches the universe. Thus said by Krishna, the chaste and devotee Kunti Devi, the Pandavas and Draupadi addressed Lord Krishna as follows. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. This Sarva Ganavangane Sarvasya Chaha ante etla Prabhu. Sarvasya Chaha.
Enka Krishna adi Sirisha cheptundi Prabhu. Sirisha blind గా follow అయిపోయింది.
Correct. సర్వ ఉంటది అది కూడా మంచిదే. సర్వగణ సర్వస్య చాహం హృది సన్నివిష్టు. ఎస్ సర్వశ్చార్య మనయే అచ్యుతే. రైట్. 18 to మాది చదువుతుంది అంటున్నా ప్రభు. 18 to 44 ఏమైనా చదువుతుంది అంటున్నా. ప్లీజ్ రీడ్ మాతాది దిస్ సెక్షన్. ఈ రెండు చదవండి.
18 to 44.
ఆ సెక్షన్.
Kunti Devi offers prayers to departing Lord Krishna. 18 to 20. Knowing the Lord. 18. Obeisances to the Supreme Person. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam. You are the original person, not my nephew. Ishwaram Prakriti Param. Supreme controller behind material nature. Lakshyam Sarva Bhutanam, invisible to all jivas. Antar Bahir Avastitam, through existing inside and outside. Krishna, if I am within and without, why nobody approaches me? 19th. You are behind the senses. Maya Javani Kachanam. You are covered by the curtain of Maya. Ajnadoka
Ajnadokshajam avyayam.
Behind sense perception and unaffected. Nalaksha se Muda Drisa, invisible to the Muda Drisa, invisible to the foolish observer. Nato Natyadaro Yata, like an actor dressed as a player. Krishna, but you can see and praise me. Why do you call yourself ignorant?
ఇది కూడా చదవండి మొత్తం 20 కూడా.
20. How can a woman know you? Tata param ahamsanam.
Paramahamsanam. Tata paramahamsanam.
Tata paramahamsanam. You descend to propagate bhakti. You are the object of bhakti amongst the advanced transcendentalists, great philosophers and liberated sages. Bhakti yoga vidarnatam katam pasyema hishrita. How then can a woman know you perfectly? All those who have prema bhakti, like my brother Vasudeva and sister-in-law Devaki, are most fortunate. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you. So let me read this one and we'll wrap up this section. Tomorrow we'll continue from 22. Right. 21 to 25, that section. I am fortunate to receive your reciprocation. Fortunate of Vasudeva, Devaki and Nanda. Krishnaya Vasudevaya, Devaki Nandanaya cha, Nanda Gopakumaraya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. Krishnaya Vasudevaya. Oh Krishna, you are the son of Vasudeva. See, it's in simple meaning, na? We have to read properly. Sanskrit is a little tricky. Vasudeva, Vasudeva. వా ఏ పైన ఉంది కాబట్టి ఇది వాసుదేవ అంటే కృష్ణుడు. వసుదేవ అంటే వాసుదేవుని ఫాదర్ వసుదేవుడు, దేవకి వసుదేవుడు. దేవకి నందనాయ ద ప్లెజర్ ఆఫ్ దేవకి, నందగోప కుమారాయ ద బాయ్ ఆఫ్ నంద మహారాజ అండ్ అదర్ కౌ హర్డ్స్, అండ్ గోవిందాయ నమో నమః ది enlivener of cows and senses. My respects unto you. So Govinda means both. He is giving pleasure to cows and fill in the blanks. చెప్పండి. కృష్ణ గోవింద మీనింగ్ టు, గోవిందాస్ వర్డ్ మీనింగ్ ఇస్ టు. ఇక్కడే ఉంది ఆన్సర్.
I mean, like who gives the pleasure to cows? Pleasure to cows.
Pleasure to cows plus
Pleasure to cows and pleasure to senses.
senses. Govinda. Yes. Right. Krishna is more approachable and merciful than other incarnations, like Lord Rama, who remained a king's son from his very childhood. Nanda and Yashoda are more fortunate because they could relish the Lord's childhood pastimes at Vrajabhumi, which are more attractive than all other pastimes. So మనతోనే ఉన్నట్టే ఉంటాయి కదా చిన్న కృష్ణుని యొక్క చైల్డ్హుడ్ పాస్ టైమ్స్, మదర్లీ అఫెక్షన్, ఫాదర్లీ అఫెక్షన్ with the devotees, with friends. Yeah, that's and more pastimes with Krishna only. Descriptions of Vrindavan pastimes, killer of these various demons, all for relishing these pastimes. Devotees always here to remember these glories of Lord. Yes, actually today we'll quickly do one time only. Mata is the exams 2nd and 9th only. Sloka recitation. Is that confirmed? 2nd July and what is that? 2nd July and 9th July. 2nd July is a Saturday after Ratha Yatra. Ratha Yatra is this Friday, coming Friday. So 2nd July is the confirmed for Sloka test for BG Unit 3.
I think yesterday some of the professors are saying it is cancelled. I don't know project exactly, but on 2nd because there is
ఉందా 2nd July
లేదని చెప్పారు ప్రభుజీ. మరి అక్కడి నుంచి ప్రభుజీ ఇట్లా అన్నారు అప్పుడు డిస్కషన్ చేసినప్పుడు. నాట్ షూర్ ప్రభుజీ.
మీరు ఉన్నారు కదా మాత, దీపమాత డిస్కషన్ అవుతుంది, నేను సరిగా వినలేదు. యాక్చువల్ గా వర్కింగ్ గ్రూప్ లో ఈ మీరా మాత ఏదో పెట్టినట్టున్నారు చూడండి. వర్కింగ్ గ్రూప్ లో చూస్తున్నారా ప్రభు?
చూస్తున్నా ప్రభుజీ,
చూడండి ఒక్కసారి.
2nd and 9th July అని పెట్టింది మాతాజీ.
మరి ఉందా? ఇలా కొంతమంది ఎవరు రెడీగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు చేస్తారు అట్లనే. లాస్ట్ టైం బీజేటీ యూనిట్ 2 చేసిన లాగా ఆ 14 వర్సెస్ చేసినాం కదా, అట్లనే చేస్తారేమో. వారం ఇది రెడీగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళు చేస్తే అయిపోతుంది. సరేలే, మనం కనుక్కుందాం. అది మాత్రం పెట్టారా? ఓకే సరే, అయితే ఒకసారి చేద్దాము. యాక్చువల్గా ఈరోజు బృందాన్ని ఇక్కడ జాయిన్ చేయాలి స్కూల్లో, శ్రీ చైతన్యలో. సో లెట్ us spend 10 more minutes and we'll wrap up. Let me share Slokas PPT. Slokas, where is that? Without looking, how many of you do for some of verses? Can you do without looking? At least verses. Without looking, is it possible? Only verses. Translation we will see. Hard one we can mug up. Without looking. Deepamata, how many you can do without looking? Hare Krishna.
I cannot do even one, Prabhuji. I have to see at least first word.
ఏమవుతుంది మరి టూ మచ్
Nijam, Prabhuji. Now, memory power is very bad.
మీరే ఒక ఎంటర్ప్రీనర్ ఉండి ఇట్లాంటి ఎట్లా అవుతుంది
Ante, Prabhuji. 40 plus, Prabhuji.
40 plus అయినా we are at young actually. Soul is young at any time.
Yes, Prabhuji. I know. But body is not. Brain is a part of the body.
Yes, subtle body. Yes, ఏం చేద్దాం మనం బాగుంది. దట్స్ ఓకే. మీరే చేయండి, మేము అందరం ఉంటాం కదా. ఓకేనా? మొత్తం
Okay.
ఒకసారి ఒక శ్లోకం మొత్తం చేయండి.
Okay.
శ్లోకం మొత్తం చేయండి, మేము అంటాము. అట్లా క్విక్ అయిపోతుంది. రేపు మనం
అంటే కలిసి చేసిద్దామా ప్రభుజీ, లేదంటే రిపిటేషన్ లాగా చేద్దామా?
మీరు చేయండి, మేము ఫాలో అవుతాం. ఒకసారి రిసైడ్ చేయండి శ్లోకం, మేము ఫాలో అవుతాము. రాజు ప్రభు ట్రాన్స్లేషన్, లేదంటే శిరీష్ రామన్ మీరు చేస్తారా? ఉన్నదా మాతో అక్కడ రిపోర్ట్? ఓకే, షూర్.
13.22 పురుష ప్రకృతిస్థో హి భుంక్తే ప్రకృతి జాన్ గుణాన్ కారణం గుణ సంగోస్య సద్ అసద్యోని జన్మసు.
పురుష ప్రకృతిస్థో
Translation: the living entity in material nature,
the living entity
in material nature
thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of material nature.
Enjoying
the three modes of nature.
This is due to
his
association with material nature.
His association
with that material nature.
Thus he meets with good and evil among various species.
With good and
evil among various species. 13.23 उपद्रष्टानुमन्ता च भर्ता भोक्ता महेश्वरा परमात्मेति चाप्युक्तो देहेऽस्मिन् पुरुषः परा.
Translation: yet in this body there is another.
Yet in this body there is another.
A transcendental enjoyer. Who is the Lord? The supreme proprietor. Who exists as the overseer. And permitter. And who is known as the super soul.
And is known as the super soul.
14.26 मां चयो व्यभिचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते.
मां चयो व्यभिचारेण सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान्
ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते.
Translation: one who engages in full devotional service.
One who engages in full devotional service,
unfailing in all circumstances. It once transcends the modes of material nature. And thus comes to the level of Brahman.
Ma'am, 15.7 ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूता सनातना मनः षष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति.
ममैवांशो जीवलोके जीवभूता सनातना मनः षष्ठानीन्द्रियाणि प्रकृतिस्थानि कर्षति. Translation: the living entities in this conditioned world.
The living entities in this conditioned world
are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard. With the six senses. Which include the mind.
which include the mind.
Include the mind.
15.50 सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो वेदान्तकृद्वेदविद् एव चाहम्
सर्वस्य चाहं हृदि सन्निविष्टो मतः
स्मृतिर्ज्ञानमपोहनं च वेदैश्च
सर्वैरहमेव वेद्यो
वेदान्तकृद्वेदविद्
Translation. I am seated in everyone's heart,
I am seated in
everyone's heart,
and from me come remembrance.
from me
and from me come
Remembrance,
remembrance, knowledge,
knowledge, and forgetfulness.
remembrance, knowledge,
and
forgetfulness
By all the Vedas,
by all the
by
Vedas.
all the Vedas,
I am to be known.
I am
and
to
to
be
be known.
Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta,
Indeed, I am
I am the
the
compiler of Vedanta,
and I am the knower of all Vedas.
and I am the knower of the Vedas.
18.54 ब्रह्मभूता प्रसन्नात्मा न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्
ब्रह्मभूता प्रसन्नात्मा
न शोचति न काङ्क्षति
सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्.
Translation. One who is thus transcendently situated,
One
who is thus transcendently situated,
it once realized the Supreme Brahman
it once
realizes the Supreme Brahman
and becomes fully joyful.
and becomes fully joyful.
He never laments or desire to have anything.
He never laments or desires to have anything.
He is equally disposed towards every living entity.
He is equally
disposed towards every living entity.
In that state,
in that state.
he attains pure devotional service unto me.
He attains
Pure devotional service unto me.
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
18.55 भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वता ततो मां तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तद् अनन्तरम्
भक्त्या मामभिजानाति यावान्यश्चास्मि तत्त्वता
ततो मां
तत्त्वतो ज्ञात्वा विशते तद् अनन्तरम्.
Translation. One can understand me as I am,
one can
understand
as I am,
as I am,
as the Supreme Personality of Godhead,
as the Supreme
personality of God,
only by devotional service.
only by
devotional service.
And when one is in full consciousness of me,
and when
one is in full consciousness of me,
by such devotion,
by such devotion,
he can enter into the kingdom of God.
he can enter into the
kingdom of God.
18.65 मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे.
Translation. Always think of me,
always
Think of me,
become my devotee,
become my
devotee,
worship me, and offer your homage unto me.
worship
me
and
and
offer
offer your homage unto me.
Thus you will come to me without fail.
thus
Thus come to me without fail.
I promise you,
I
I promise you,
this because you are my very dear friend.
this
this
because you are
because
my
you are
very
my
dear
very
friend.
dear friend.
Hare
18.66 सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज अहं त्वां सर्वपापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचा.
सर्वधर्मान्
परित्यज्य
मामेकं शरणं
अहं सर्वकामेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा
मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचः.
Translation: abandon all varieties of religion
Abandon all
varieties of religion
and just surrender unto me.
and just surrender.
surrender unto me.
I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions.
I shall
I shall
deliver
deliver you from all sinful reactions.
Do not fear.
Do not.
fear.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. Connect tomorrow. Okay. पांचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. प्रभुपाद की जय. श्री गुरुदेव की जय. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृतम की जय. निताय गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे. हरि हरि. Have a happy KC Monday.